Hello, Princess, and welcome, members of the court. We are back in the car to talk about, well, it is January 1st, 2023, so now we can finally talk about 2022. That was last year, right? Anyway, I guess I'm gonna start off by reminding everybody that this is not a cruise channel. I know that's probably why a lot of you are here, but reminder, it is my channel. I will do what I want, and I just happen to like cruising, so, well, welcome aboard, but hopefully 2023 will bring some more variety. I feel like I was a little bit stuck, but oh well, something we can easily change. I'm on my way to Sawgrass Mills, of all places. Haven't been there in a while, looking for, I'm doing some absolutely superfluous cruise and theme park shopping, but, well, I don't know. I don't do anything on New Year's, so I guess this is my big kickoff for what's coming up. Speaking of what's coming up, all right, I'm gonna start off with my biggest disappointment for 2022, and Princess, just a reminder, this is only because I did not make it happen. This is solely on me. I'm the only one responsible for this. I didn't make it to Dollywood. I know, that was my one goal for the year, and I didn't make it. But I have a whole year to make up for that, and we'll throw some other parks into the mix. As for other parks I do want to visit, well, number one, Dollywood. Number two, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Number 3 and 4, in no particular order, Hershey Park and Cedar Point. After that, we'll see what happens. I might be going somewhere else very soon. We'll take you along for the adventure there. But yeah, those are my theme park goals. I would love to hit more parks, absolutely. But if I can do those 4, maybe 5, then I will at least, well, not consider 2023 a failure. But, well, for what I've been doing, no fear, I do have several sailings booked, and first one is going to be in a couple of weeks, I think, and that's going to be a kind of a bucket list cruise, and I don't know, I'll probably mix it up a little bit, might not do the whole, like, daily thing, might just do various experiences so I have them for the rest of the year, depending on how things go. And let's just talk about 2022 and everything that happened in 2022 from, I guess, a cruise perspective. That was the highlight. I only made it to 3 or 4 parks last year, which kind of depressing, but yeah, we got to fix that. So, well, I went back and I looked, and 2022, I did 11 sailings, a total of 60 days on board, not counting trips to the private islands, which is the only time I ever got off the ship, actually. So, take that for what it is. All right. In terms of the best cruise, the worst cruise, and all that, I debated on how to arrange this. I thought I just do it like all the roller coaster enthusiasts do and start at the bottom and go up. But then that would kind of like spoil the surprise. I could do it best then worst, but then I guess nobody would probably hang around. So I thought I would do something a little bit different, if I can remember how to do this correctly. And well, before we get to Sawgrass Mills, I'll just start off with the most average cruise that I did in 2022. Yes, there was nothing great about it. There was nothing bad about it. It was just a cruise where everything went just exactly as expected. No more, no less. So much so that I forgot about it until I was reviewing this list the other day. It says it was so average that I probably might have forgotten to mention it to you, and that would have been Carnival Conquest. And it's weird because it's a perfectly middle-of-the-road ship, a perfectly middle-of-the-road itinerary. I don't even know where it went, to be honest. The onboard experience was like exactly as you would predict for a 3 or 4 day, it was 3-day Carnival cruise, and yes, that was it. It was so unremarkable, I forgot about it. I cruise, enjoyable, but yeah, it is literally right in the middle of the pack on that one. And yeah, it's a 3-day getaway cruise. That's about what it was. All right, well, got a few more minutes until we get to the mall, and so I'm gonna concentrate on driving, then we'll get to the spicy stuff. All right, let's just start off with what everybody wants to know. What was the best and the worst? And then we'll talk about the interesting rankings of everything else. I think if you've been following up till now, it should be no surprise that the best cruise of the year was, in fact, Norwegian Prima. It was the best balanced cruise. It was the most enjoyable, the most relaxing on so many different levels. The food was amazing. Everything I had except that one potato dish was incredible in every venue, and even the complimentary venues were spectacular. The ship had enough activities for a nice, great 12-day vacation cruise without being overwhelming. I actually got to do everything, and I was able to take a lot of naps. I think the schedule was great. I love the late night karaoke, and overall, it was just a great adult cruise. So I probably won't be sailing on Viva this year because she's basically a clone, but you never say never. So not really a drum roll necessary. Probably not a surprise, the worst cruise of the year. And I'll just remind you, it is absolutely not the fault of the onboard crew. It is completely the responsibility of the nitwits at headquarters. Carnival Sunrise. That was an absolute disaster on so many levels. And like I mentioned in my pardon for Team Sunrise, they were dealt a very bad hand and did the best they could, but given the circumstances, they just could not pull it off for a lot of different reasons. I'll leave it at that. You can go watch that video for the full explanation, but yeah, that was not great. Well, there you go. Best cruise, Norwegian Prima. Worst cruise, Carnival Sunrise. Which leaves now the other, how many? 10, 11? No, 11 cruises minus 3, and that would be 8. The other 8, let's, where do they fall into the mix? Number 6, best cruise of 2022 was my 8-day Southern Caribbean sailing aboard Odyssey of the Seas. This was another one that just went almost perfectly. It was exactly what you would expect from a Royal Caribbean cruise on this type of ship, and I had a great time. This was my first diamond cruise, so I was able to enjoy a lot of those benefits. I didn't go to the lounge that often, but other than that, the ship is fantastic. The food was Royal Caribbean, so I did end up going to the Windjammer a lot. What kind of, I don't know, this might have been better if I hadn't gotten a little bit sick on the last couple of days, but other than that, it was a very enjoyable cruise, and the price was unbeatable. I think I only paid like $800 for that 8-day sailing as a solo, which kind of surprised me. But other than that, yeah, it was just a nice, solid, as expected Royal Caribbean cruise, and the first time I'd spent that long on that type of ship. I would go back, you know, but I'm sure there's better and there's worse, and we'll get to those too. Number 8. So just past Carnival Conquest would be Margaritaville at Sea Paradise. Now, what surprised me about this was how good it was. There were a lot of things to like about this cruise. Now, granted, it's only 2 days. The ship is older. It is not entirely themed, but I don't think it's as bad as some people might claim it is. It is not a cruise for regular cruisers. It's kind of a starter cruise, or just a, I don't know, if you want to just take 2 days away from everything cruise, because they probably haven't done anything better with the internet. I don't know. But they do all the traditional cruise things. There are a couple of games. There was trivia. I don't know if there's karaoke, but oh, you know what? I think there was. They played the quest. You know, they had deck parties, and I don't know, for just a 2-day little break, I found it quite enjoyable. The food in the dining room was better than I expected. I did not get to go to the steakhouse, but we'll go back. I just want to see how they've been able to add to the experience in the last year. The show was really good. Tales from Margaritaville, and the upcharge venue at the back. I guess is it Cheeseburger in Paradise? I don't know. I really liked it. So yeah, it's only 2 days, which kind of a drag, but I think they did a really, really good job. It's not top tier or anything like that. It's an old ship, but yeah, I had a great time, and I do look forward to going back. Number 4. I think a lot of people might be a little bit surprised that this didn't rank higher, but it is Carnival Celebration, the 50th anniversary Carnival Celebration. A fantastic trip, a fantastic ship. I love the Miami theme, by the way, and the Miami touches that they add, particularly at the Deco Deli and at the Bar 820, were spot on. And I tried every drink at Bar 820, I tried every sandwich at Deco Deli, and probably the best food on the ship. So for that, they absolutely hit it out of the park. The decor, I mean, a lot of it's like Mardi Gras, but the Latitudes Bar, a great addition. I enjoyed Emeralds very much, and just the ship is a really fun and great ship. I don't like the atrium thing. For shows, I think it's terrible. There's no good seating. It fills up super quick, and I missed all the shows there because, I don't know, there was just no place to sit and no place to get a good view. But Piano Bar was strangely not like normal, but other than that, again, I think Carnival really hit it out of the park. Other than Thanksgiving dinner, that did not go so well. You probably already saw that by now, or maybe not, I don't know. They have, I think, nerfed some of the food options, so just keep that in mind. The smaller venues, like Guy's, Big Chicken, I think, Blue Iguana, those are all fantastic still, but kind of the main food, like the buffet and the dining room, I don't know, they kind of lost their edge there. But it is a brand new ship, and operationally, everything was good to go, and yeah, it was just a great Carnival cruise. So let's close out the bottom of the list with 9 and 10. Probably one big surprise here. All right, number 9, that's 9 out of 11, was Carnival Ecstasy. So this was a cruise that I wanted to try because this is the last of the first generation fantasy class ships. There's still 2 more, so we'll probably get a ride on the last fantasy class ship. Hopefully that won't be for a couple of years, but I don't know, it was just a fun 4-day excursion, and the reason it ranked so low is because, yes, it is obvious why that class of ship is being retired. She was old, and while very well maintained, yeah, it was time. And just like on Carnival Celebration, I think Carnival really has nerfed a lot of the mainline food. The dining room experience was less than expected. The buffet experience was less than expected. The deli and Guys and Blue Iguana were all great. So I don't know what they're doing with all of that. I will say again, the one thing I really like about the fantasy class ship is all the activities are right next to each other. So you don't spend a lot of time on the elevators. In fact, I don't think I rode the elevators more than once on that trip. And I think that's really great. But yes, older ship, the crew did great. We can see why they're due for retirement. So that's why she's number 9. All right, maybe the big shocker, the big surprise. Number 10, one from the bottom, next to last. And that would be Wonder of the Seas. That was just really, really disappointing because you go into a cruise like that, brand new, largest cruise ship in the world, and she wasn't ready. She just was not ready for a prime time. The shows weren't ready. Some of the venues were like barely ready. Even the crew staff, they were still rehearsing some of their events, so we missed a lot, and there was no price break, and there was no consideration or anything like that. I'm not really complaining. I mean, whatever, it's, you know, you expect some things to not be perfect on an inaugural, but you know, the fact that they weren't there that did not go over very well with a lot of people. That's why, one of the reasons why I'm glad I could not book Icon of the Seas inaugural, because who knows what's not going to be ready on that ship, right? Royal, you know, fool me once, that whole thing. Now, the ship is, well, you know, actually that's another thing too. It's just another Oasis class ship, so the experience of being on a brand new cruise ship like that wasn't that brand new. It just looks like every other Oasis class ship. So, yeah. And the teasers for the shows, that was like, you know, if you're not going to do it, and we'll actually talk about this later, I think, if the show's not ready, just don't even bother. Don't even show it. Just do something else, have filler entertainment. But, you know, the teases, I don't know, that kind of didn't go over too well with me. So, yes, number 10, Wonder of the Seas. Now for the fun stuff. Let's finish out the top of the list. Number 4 cruise of 2022. MSC Divina. I said this a couple of times, including in the final decree, but this was just a great cruise. Like, everything went really, really well. The crew was on point, the ship was on point, the price was phenomenal. The 2 days at Ocean Key with the beach party and the lighthouse show, like nothing I've ever seen on any other cruise. And even watching videos from other cruise lines, there's nothing like that that you can find. So for a lot of different reasons, that cruise was, for a long time, you know, it could have been my number 1 favorite, but, you know, only 4 days. Sure, the length of the cruise does have a little bit to do with it, but overall, I hate saying this, but I was surprised that it was such a great sailing. Really, I can't think of anything that went wrong. And oh, the performers, we cannot forget those performers. Oh boy. So yeah, number 4, just for being a really great cruise experience, MSC Divina, which leads conveniently into number 3, MSC Seascape. Yeah, that was just another great cruise. and I'm going to put it this way, probably talk about this a little bit more in the final degree when I ever get around to doing that. The annoyances of previous MSC have kind of turned into charming quirks, I'll say, because they've really gotten their game together. Let me tell you, it was night and day difference between my experience on MSC Seascape and MSC Seashore. Team Seashore was on point for so many different things. I'm telling you, you guys at Carnival and Royal and Norwegian, yeah, watch your six, because they're going to one day announce they're the largest cruise line in the world, and everyone's going to be like, wait, what? When did this happen? And they'll deserve it. So, yeah, if you're looking for a very well-priced cruise with a terrific experience that doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles and whiz-bangy things, yeah, MSC, that was just another really, really great overall experience. Karaoke, they need to work on the karaoke, but yeah, that was another just really enjoyable cruise. And perfect timing, here we are at Sawgrass Mills. We're all about to turn into the mall. Well, finishing off the list, number 2, a cruise that I don't know that I made a huge deal with. I don't know that the vlogs were that long, and I struggled with this. You know, the top, well, 2, 3, and 4, I went back and forth a few times, but for a lot of different reasons, you know, even though it was only a weekend cruise, and even though it might have actually been the most expensive cruise I took this year, Disney Dream. And still, I'm sure I said this before, but it is, on Disney Cruise Line, one place where you can still find the Disney magic. And sorry, I'm actually getting choked up just thinking about it. Disney Dream has the best show anywhere on Earth. Not just cruise lines, but all this Broadway, West End nonsense. No, don't even bother. You have to go and see, right, you have to go and see Beauty and the Beast on Disney Dream. And yeah, that absolutely sealed the deal. Number 2 cruise of 2022, my 3-day weekend birthday trip aboard Disney Dream. Oh, and the food was really good too. So I'm looking forward to my next Disney cruise, which is coming up. And hopefully the magic will still be there, even though they don't have Beauty and the Beast. But I don't know. Well, I guess I just have Japan to look forward to. But, well, that is my 11 cruise rankings for 2022. Some probably aren't a surprise. Some might be a surprise. But I had a great time. Every cruise was enjoyable. Even the ones that... sorry about that. Even the ones that the nitwits at headquarters messed up. You know what? If you're on a ship, it's always going to be a good time. And I'll just use that as I look for parking now. You know, I really don't like driving anymore. I'll just use that as a reminder that, sure, yes, absolutely, any cruise is a good cruise. And even when things don't go as planned, or don't go as you expect, or don't go as you want them to, well, last year and this coming year, you know what? For me, and for all of you, I hope it is just another reminder of why we should all be thankful for our problems.